Right, cool. It's today's October 11th, 2025, here in Pacifica, California, 12 miles south of San Francisco, 55, 65 degrees Fahrenheit, and that's 13 to 18 degrees Celsius. I just want to do a quick update on the Medakas that I got from SNR Medaka USA on Wednesday. So I was going to upload an update the day after, but the most delicate time for any fish, I guess, but Medakas in particular, because they seem to adapt to any type of condition, is like right after a move, right? So these babies came from SNR USA in North Carolina to Pacifica. So I was slowly acclimating them. So I think the last time I uploaded, I was acclimating them in the bag. So stop saying so. Let me just take a real quick sip. The best beer of the day is the one that I am having with all you Medaka heads out there. Where's my beer? Where's my beer? Here we go. Oh yeah, that was good. So on Wednesday, I got the delivery, came home, it was getting dark, so I was floating them in here. The most important thing is to get them acclimated to the temperature. So after that, what I started doing was with the original water, right here, I was using these, and I just put the entire bag with the water, with the Medakas in here. And what I did was, since they've been temperature-wise acclimated, I started adding the mother water, which I had prepared over here, little by little, inch by inch. And then the following morning, what I did was I decided, instead of introducing them in these 27-gallon tubs immediately, I put them in these small MV box 11 liters. 11 liters is about what? 3.5 gallons, I think. Correct me if I'm probably wrong. So it's been it'll be 3 days today. I really wanted to see, I had all this ready. Like I have these, I had the tummel ready. This is a tummel that I got like a couple years back in Japan. Handmade, freaking awesome. I even still have the tag on here because I've never really used it, but these work perfect with these. So this has a white back, this is a black back. And I just wanted to examine them from the side. And but again, the first week is when they are most vulnerable, meaning their immune system has been shocked because of all the moving and all that, different climate. They're just adjusting. So it's almost better to just let them do what they do to adapt naturally, and don't really move them around, etc., etc. It's kind of like when you're kind of tired, that's when you get sick. So instead of rushing into things, it's better to just kind of let them adapt to their new environment, new climate, and all that. So these are the, by the way, all you new Medaka Head members, domo arigato. Great Lakes Carp Fish son, Raylan Benjamin's son, Aka, Ray-Ban, Andrew Yang son, and Kinky Kong san, domo arigato, welcome. And thank you, domo arigato, for the beers, man. This one goes out to you guys and gals. All right. And then I'm going to be talking about like what I'm feeding them as well. It's a new food that I am trying for the first time right now. So over here, I have what's called the wakasagi. So I was in a situation where I didn't know what I was going to do. My whole metal riff project, yeah, didn't get enough babies. And I'm like, well, I'm not going to do any indoor medaka this year, so what can I do? For the winter, you need to get them to a certain size, which these are at least like 2/3 of an inch. And at 2/3 of an inch, I feel comfortable that regardless of where you are, I mean, you could have these things freeze over in the tubs. But regardless, they should be size-wise big enough to survive under extreme conditions. Again, they vary by lineage, and why I say that is a lot of these newer fancy Medakas, to get them to look like this with the breeding, crossbreeding, they really needed to pamper them, and to get their, especially tails, to grow, you need warmer temps. So in Japan, you have the 4 seasons, right? So to get them to really shine and look great, a lot of people have heaters throughout the year, and they try to get the F1, F2, F3, F4. Finally, at maybe around F5 to 8, it'll stabilize. So it's not just you cross and you develop, because the first gen is really going to be just spread out everywhere. For the lineage, meaning their characteristics, to kind of stick, you really need to go through 5 or more generations, so you know that their offsprings are going to typically look close to what the parents look like. So I think a lot of people like rushing to just cross breeding, I guess, and their first F1s or Gen 1s, they're like, okay, I have created something that looks freaking awesome. But is that gene going to stay on the next generation? It won't. So it's like labor of love, for everything. If you want something solid, it's going to take time. But there's no reason to rush. That's one of the things that I wanted to bring up. So, going back to what I have over here. So, Wakasagi. The cool thing with SNR Medaka is I knew I wanted a midnight frill, just because they're my favorite, to be honest. And this one, for the first time, I have the Taigaiko, which is the external light on the back. What I imported from Japan like 2 to 3 years ago was the Lame version, and the biggest difference is the Lame version has a wide fan. These babies over here, the Taigaiko, the outer shine, the outer light, they have long fins. But the way they all have character, the way they swim and all that, I was just like, when I first saw these from Tarumi-san, which is a producer, I was just like, oh my goodness, this is like, it just captured something that no other Medaka has ever done to me. Again, the beauty is in the eye of the beholder, but they just had that look, and from the side, they even look better, in my opinion. And again, going back, the cool thing with SNR is I wasn't sure what else I wanted. They had a list of, I think, again, they're not all available right now, but they had a list of over 100. And it's easy to just get the latest and the greatest, but if you're really like into them, there's certain ones that'll just like, you love, regardless of if it's new or not. It's just one of those lineages that just sticks. I said, look, I don't know, so guide me. And I said, well, I like the blue base because I started off with the Miyukis about 6 years back. But I like the black. And they're like, well, I think you'll enjoy the Wakasagi. Wakasagi, by the way, in Japanese or in English, it's smelt fish. Tiny, very tasty, low in mercury because they're small. Deep fried, they're amazing. And again, not going to be talking about eating, but per se, but that's where the name came from, Wakasagi, smelt. So you have the bluish hue Taigaiko, and then underneath that you have a black sheen underneath, basically underneath the top layer of their skin. So that's what, you see how blue, I don't even know if it'll show well, but I call it the crown, the tip of the head. It really gets like blue depending on the way it shines. I can't wait to like actually scoop them up and examine them from the side. So that's this. And over here, my favorite midnight frills. We'll see. So I think I got 8, and there's 4. We'll see how they do. The temperature in the water over here, this meter is actually really cool. They're not available over here for some reason. It's a Tetra. But it tells you like what the current temp is, 23.4 degrees Celsius. Tells you what the max, I just reset this, so it has a max at 23.4. But it's going to keep on recording what the max temp reaches. And then it also tells you the min. Min was 19.6 degrees Celsius. Which this thing's been holding up for about a month. No water leaks. It's great. It's fantastic. I wish they sold them over here in the U.S. All right, so to the food. I'm using something new, and this was kind of like developed by Hikari. It's this product over here. It's called Hikari Paraclear. And I'll explain what's in here. And it's basically, it's sold as like when you're getting new fish, because they know that they're all stressed from with all the travel, they want to ease their body. They want to ease their immune system, their intestines, and have them really get their like energy back. And so I'm going to quickly transfer what's on the back of here. This is very dangerous. I shouldn't even put it here. Let me just put it over here so it doesn't fall. So I'm going to quickly translate this, and it's basically Paraclear. What Paraclear is, it's like a herbal intestinal cleansing detox. So what this has is it has like 7 natural herbs to create that, and it also has like they added like live bacterias, which will help to like decompose some type of all these excrements inside your body, and it really helps them to get their internals going up and running while they're stressed. Because when it's stressful, what happens is their entire body slows down, and they're so susceptible to getting diseases during this time. And that's another reason why I'm going really slow. Since they're still day 3, I'm going to wait till at least maybe a week before I think I am going to introduce them over here so I could do the side view and all that to kind of examine them and really appreciate them. Because this is my first time like getting my hands on a Wakasagi. The other thing is, I guess I don't know. I think the questions I get when I introduce kind of new foods that we don't have over here readily in the U.S. is like, what is it made out of? So it's basically vitamins, herbs, fish meal, squid meal, krill meal, egg yolk powder, starch, herbs like oregano, garlic, cinnamon, ginger, thyme, red pepper, and rosemary. And that's what it says. And it's, let me see, 50% protein, which is really high, and 9% fat, which is really high. And the reason why I'm emphasizing really high is as right now we're getting into fall, and there's from the warm, hot summer, the temperature is really dropping. As the temperatures drop, remember Medakas are stomakless fish. They rely a lot on the temperature to help them decompose what they have eaten and to basically turn that into energy for them to survive. When it's cold, they barely move, so their body function slows down as well. So if you provide them with something with protein that's as high as 50% and the fat content being as high as 9, there's a chance that it's just going to get stuck in their bellies, and they're going to have other issues, right? They're going to start bloating, and it will, in my experience, it'll lead to death. And it's good to be cognizant about. So when it's during the day, I am feeding this for its benefits. Again, I'm trying this out, but in the morning, I just go back to my staple, which is another Hikari product. Gex doesn't have all these kind of different varieties, so I go back to this. It's Hikari Medaka maintenance. And the beauty of this is it's lower protein, lower fat. So it's 38% of protein, 7% of fat, compared to the 50% and the 9%. What this allows the body to do is to easily digest. So as the temperature is changing, as they're starting to slow down, their body functions are slowing down as well. It gives them an easy, instead of using so much energy to digest, break down the food for nutrients and energy, it's easy. It's light on their body. It's like humans, right? You eat all this fatty stuff, it's just going to be stuck in your stomach for a long, long time. And for us, we have stomachs, so it is going to digest eventually. But for these babies, they don't have stomachs. So it's really important to kind of know what you're feeding based on the temperature and understanding what the Medaka body is going through during these cooler seasons. So this is basically my go-to. And since the temperature is still, at the low is in the mid 50s, I don't really feed until the temperature gets up to 55. And that being said, when the temperature is like 15 below, they stop moving. So they don't really need that content because they're not burning that much energy. And if you introduce food when it's cold and if they happen to eat, there's a chance that it's just going to clog up their system, get bloated, and they're not going to be feeling well. They're not going to be doing good. So really right now, turn of the season, from warm, hot to the cooler, cold, it's time to really look at your food and look at the fat. And I would just say, just look at the protein and fat content and just be aware that this is what they're going through. So it's not about how little you start giving as far as the amount. It's about what's in the food. It's the same as humans. So again, I was thinking maybe I'll scoop them up and put them in here and view them today, but I'm not. It's a journey. There's a bunch of time. There's no reason to rush. But as long as you're enjoying what you're learning, the best teacher is these babies. You basically just observe. Observation is going to teach you a lot more than all the Googling and watching videos. And at the end of the day, when you're watching content, the video, it's kind of like from the view of the presenter. And same thing with all the forums and all that. It's like their experience, but your experience is going to be different. We all live in different climates. We all get our medakas from a variety of sources. And apples to apples, if you get the same midnight frill, but from two different sources, depending on how their ancestors were brought up, they're completely different. So just be cognizant about that when you are looking to introduce something new to your environment. And after I don't know, I think maybe at least 2 years, 2, 3 generations, you'll learn more and they'll start adapting to your climate, to your environment, your lifestyle, because everybody's lifestyle is different. A lot of people that work from home, when they're small, when they're fry, you can feed them 45 times a day. That's what breeders recommend, but that's their job. That's their profession. So they're in a position where they could do that. But like for us, like we have day jobs and, we have our lives outside of our journey, our hobby. They got to be able to adapt to your schedule after a certain point. So it's either even feeding once or feeding twice. If you get up or if you're leaving for work too early in the morning, the temperature's way too cold for them to eat. So why just force it? You don't. So you make them wait. And that's why it's important to create an environment where there's tons of microscopic phytoplanktons in here where they are eating and nibbling on it. And I just took these water hyacinths out just so I could try to do my best to film these babies, new babies. I just make sure I have some water hyacinth flooding in here, and there's just nature. Nature does the body good. The sun does the body good. This water, the green water, does the body good. There's tons of nutrients in there. But again, when I do come home right now, the water temp's pretty warm. So I'll give them a little food. And so it's once, if I could do it, twice a day. But again, where you live, it may be completely different. It may be completely warm. So there is no one way. You just have to figure out what works best for you and your lifestyle. The important thing is to get your medakas that you're keeping, that you're adoring, your babies, to adapt to your lifestyle. And after a while, you'll know which type of medakas and which lineage do well for you. For me, I know I'm going to regurgitate myself, but latest and the greatest is always cool and nice. I was kind of like that in the beginning. But now it's really understanding or seeking out the look that you like. And I think these babies are created in 2020 or 2021. So they're not new at all. Every day it seems like there's a new breed, a lineage getting introduced in Japan. And in a way, it's getting out of hand. Because some people call the same thing a different name. Just because they're producing it. So, okay. I think I blabbed enough. I need to go grab a late lunch. Go to La Playa locally. And probably have more brewskis. Maybe a few glasses of wine. Enjoy the rest of the weekend, everybody. Domo arigato again to all you Medaka heads out there. Medaka Head members, thank you for the beers. Again, the newest members, Great Lakes Carpfish-san, Raylan Benjamin-san, Andrew Yang-san, and Kinky Kong-san. And for SNR Medaka, again, they kind of, with my description of what I wanted, they kind of chose for me. And this is what I ended up with. Fantastic. Great. They're beautiful. Wakasagi means smelt in English. So that's one Japanese word I guess I could teach to all you Medaka heads today. Wakasagi is smelt in Japanese. All right, so domo arigato again. We'll do it again next time. Another sip for all you Medaka heads. Domo arigato. Have a fantastic and safe Medakatsu weekend. Out. Oh yeah. Oh, that was good.